we are streaming. Hello and welcome to Tales of Confusions for the 17th of September 2021. How are we all doing today? We have, if I just look up this, we have 4 people already queued up. So, you know what? I'm actually going to take 5 minutes off and I'm going to start again without myself. So this is Rumi, Ubers, Lily, and Prospero. Good luck. I will do some analysis for the first game. And I'll just join the second one. So, how are we all doing? I'm just going to ask that question. I might be able to actually respond to some replies before, game stuff happens. We have 7 showing in the lobby. One of those is, of course, me. So, in theory, waiting on 2 more. But we'll see. We know we usually have 1 or 2 lurkers, unfortunately. Also, I start streaming and the cat has decided to leave. He was sort of hanging out around here, actually. I was going to put him on stream for a little bit, but alas, Arthur is camera shy. Okay, 1 confirmed viewer at the moment. Look at this. We got 2 roughly similar tile against things. You think? Yeah, I'm doing okay. Just having a bit of a quiet one, really. So 4 minutes until I can actually go and observe the match that's currently in progress. Then we shall do some analysis for a change. Or rather, we'll start with some analysis. Usually I just start with whoever the first 4 people are. But I decided not to do that this time. I'm also going to apologise for... Well, apologise for last week and also next week, because unfortunately I'm going to be back down in Kent again next weekend, and it's going to be a little patchy for the schedule for the time being, possibly at short notice. Again, I'll do what I can to let people know in advance, but at the moment, the next one's going to be in a fortnight. But I'll announce that properly in the Discord and things once I know for sure. So 2 and 5. Let's just have a couple of things while we wait. I could have started the game off before actually the stream started, but I think we only had 2 in the lobby until I actually click the go live button. And you know what? I occasionally like not being in every single game, and I'm also tired, so I'm going to get my excuses out of the way early here. I've been on a reasonable run of form. I'm not expecting myself to be fully 100% today, but we'll see. Who knows? Maybe my 80% is good enough. Or maybe I can just get by with copious amounts of luck. That is possible too. Right, 2 minutes before I can observe the game. Actually, let's just keep that up. Have a quick ticking clock on this one. Evening, Solar. It is, generally fine, in all honesty. We're just waiting for the first game of today to start up. Currently only have these 4 plus myself in the queue, so I've let them have the first game. Just going to do some analysis on it. But welcome back. Hopefully in a few minutes I'll have something to actually say. In which it sounds like my cat's gone mad outside. Alright, so solo queued up. So it's just Solo and myself. As and when I spot 2 more people, we will possibly start the sub-game. But let's begin with analysis on this. So Ubers, Lily, Rumi, Prospero. Fairly high-end table. At least based on the soul ranks, I suppose. Okay, so starting with the dealer, Ubers, who has double ton, and an interesting style hand that could go in a number of directions. Honitsu's a little awkward with how it's set up, but honestly, whichever you end up getting the best connectivity for, you go for. Worst comes to it, ton and go. This is counteracting to Rumi, who has a bit of a slow hand, but also has a similar Toy style, Toy Chitoitsu style plan going on, with the Easts opposing as well. That's gonna go badly for Ubers. Lily has pretty standard-ish hand.
Riichi.
Yep, high on that one. Can you film a PG stream today in chat? Hospital rules and no headphones. I usually try to be PG anyway. Obviously, I can't do anything about the chat, but I am the only one on, and I'm usually not one for swearing in any case, even during streams. Just whatever. The SBS get the vaccine, indeed. But yeah, I normally try to make these PG. Anyway, Prospero has a good start, so that is that Tenpai? That is actually Tenpai. So Tanyo... Yeah, there we go. Nice. Tanyo, Ipeiko, Dora. That is a good hit. Fast hand. Later Dharma, but you have a Mungan, so absolutely nothing wrong with that. And yeah, that is first strike for Prospero. Well played. Alright, let's move on to Lily, who has Dora and a pair heavy hand. Yeah, well played as well, and I think actually by not reaching that was more likely to come off from that. Did you agree? I have no audio yet. So Lily's looking at possibly Toy 2 Dora, but actually with 2 Dora, Dragon only is fine. What we can see, however, is that Ubers has a 5 Dragon starting hand. 5 Dragons I would not consider good enough. Typically, 6 is usually going to be the way you want to go with it. And with Rumi having a concealed set of whites pair in Lily's hand, I'm hoping that Ubers doesn't get bogged down with that. But the Honitsu is definitely on, and that's something I would definitely go for at this point. So 7-pin, 8-pin to try and sort that stuff out. Anyway, Rumi, 5-7-9 shape to, and an 8-9 to get rid of. Okay, so a little bit of work still to do from that. Prospero, having hit the Mungan, has hit a reasonable-ish recovery from this. It's going to be... He's 2 away from Tenpai, at least. South isn't his bonus tile, it's just an alien wind here. It is an impossible Daisangan. The thing is, you can't get hooked up on that, and thankfully Ubers doesn't appear to be. They're just looking at this as a Honitsu, which is, with 5, that is the correct way to do it. When you have 6, you can go for the bigger... You can go for Shosangan, you can go for Daisangan. But in the grand scheme of things, and it's something to think about given how much you've played Mahjong, how many times have you seen a Daisangan pay off? Because it's not very high. This is actually fairly beginner style table. People will play loose dragons. People are more likely to do it on here. It doesn't happen that often. Right, Lily cuts for dragons. So Tanyo, Dora, 2. I wouldn't have said so. You're playing for the Honitsu. That seems sensible. I disagree with your opinion thus far. We'll see how this develops. So Prosperous hit Tenpai on the pair weight, and nope, oh, sorry, 1-4. So this is a 1-4 reach Dora weight. So again, just advancing the hand a little bit. Obviously, Prospero has to reach for this. There's no way he can avoid that with the way his hand's set up here. I guess if he could wait for a little bit, there's a possibility. He could have gone actually for Sun Unco concealed, I suppose. But that doesn't give him a lot of outs, so I can understand why he wants to go for the 1-4 reach. But anyway, a hand to advance the game on, get himself close to dealership. He's in the lead, so first strike reach, why not? Okay, well there is Shosangan potential. But, yeah, you want your hand to be in a better shape than that. But the fret's up. But the downside, I suppose, is that Prospero is... He's just going to outplay it. Prospero, with the reach, now has to play around this in any case. Oh, and yeah, we can see what's about to happen here. The 4-7, actually, the 7's to deal into Rumi rather than that. Rumi's hit a silent Tenpai for White Dragon only, and it's a usual counterplay to any early reaches to just get yourself to Tenpai. As long as you can play safely with that Tenpai, keep it. Dora was played after the reach, and both other players have played Dora, so that is absolutely fine for Rumi in that case. Decides to risk it anyway. His hand's not massive, but obviously feeling it's worth it at this point. Unfortunately, that is the way Mahjong goes at sometimes. If you got information to go for it, that's fine. But, I mean, Lily's got Tanyo Tudor as dealer. That's usually fine, I would say, to try and risk things. But I guess if you're worried about a potential big hand on the left, and it does have... Yuba seems, after 2 calls, that they might have the Double Dragon Honitsu, which is Mangan to deal into. You don't want to give that away. Prospero's early reach could be a bluff, but you can't. But with a Khan on the board as well, you can't ignore the threat there, unfortunately. The question, of course, is: can you avoid dealing? Is avoiding dealing in better than them sumoing for a big hand when you're dealer? Yeah, locked in. It happens. I can more than understand that. It upgraded your hand from Mangan to Hanuman Plus, which, I mean, you could argue that's greed, going for the secured Hanuman by keeping the White Dragon in hand, but as far as you're concerned, it was still possible that somebody would have to play a lone white. And obviously, even the counter side of that, with a 1 white in hand, there's no way you can play that because it's live, and you might be what Prospero is waiting on. It's very possible Prospero could have reached for a pair wait, or waiting on the dragon. So yeah, you couldn't really do a lot with that position. So you were committed to the Shosangan at that point until somebody else risked a white. Anyway, some analysis then. Lily's hand is pretty fast at this stage. Needs the green dragon to really be able to do a lot, but might get out of the Prospero. Prospero's got a bad starting hand, really. Ruby's hand is particularly good. When does he cut the pair? He cuts the pair now, which is fair. So Custodian Wind, looking for Tampin, depending on how that goes. You can get the middle tile. If not, then just going for the free-sided wait here. You can go for the close 7 early. Does decide to go for the early close 7 as dealer. So pressure on. Prospero's hand is nowhere, so Prospero is probably out of this. Yuba's needs a lot of work, but that's close 2 has helped. So the question is whether Lily thinks her hand is good enough to go against this. Obviously, the 2 greens being safe is good. So yeah, it's technically a bad wait, but if it pays off, it's still reached Dora, so it's valuable enough to be worth the attempt, and it's early enough that it's going to disrupt the other freeze game plan. We can see the hand, as it turns out, is unlikely. The pair in Yuba's hand means it's not likely to come out. If Prospero draws it, he can keep it because he can use the 7. Lily probably wouldn't play a 7 into a reach, so this is just a case of can Rumi draw one of the last 2. And I mean, a draw state as dealer is not the end of the world if the bluff holds, and at the moment appears to be holding. Although Prospero is developing. To be fair, that 9-8-6 doesn't really change anything there, still needs the 7, so. So Yuba's You can play the 1 pin as well and possibly just try and force a Tanya with this hand, which might be the correct way to try and go round whatever the dealer might be doing. But it depends whether they're thinking of that at this stage. Because I would say Tuso is possibly risky here, just with the discards we know about. But mind you, 4-4-4, he sees 3 4s. He could say that's 3 4s and 2 1s. 3 1s, sorry. Yeah, I guess that makes it unlikely that the Tuso is going to be anything significant to the hand. It was an early 3-so as well. Alright, that's fair. I was safe. Okay, so... how's the counter advancement going? Lily's looking reasonable, but doesn't want to get rid of a 2-pin. So, she... actually, no, 2-pin's been proven safe. So, not sure on that. Oh, we're about to test that theory. So, that has deaded both. That is deaded Rumi's thing here. He's hoping for draw state, but 2 rounds to go. Nobody looks as if they're going to hit Tenpai at this point. Well, actually, having said that, no, Lily's just going to fold out. Yeah, Lily could have gone for Tenpai there. But just playing safe. Prospero playing around it as well. Prospero with a lot of Dora, actually. Prospero, I think, if he'd have... given how valuable Prospero's hand is, I'm surprised he didn't try for it, but he's got the lead. And he's defended that quite well, I think. As one of the things Prospero tends to do is go for the late game pushes, which causes problems. Obviously, there was no way Prospero could deal in with that, but just, yeah. So, draw state. Rumi in second. Mangan to take the lead at the moment. And again, starts with Dora 2. Lily has a 2 Dora hand as well. That's looking quite rapid. Possibly Peiko Pinfu. Possibly Chitoitsu as well, actually, come to that. Yuba's up top. Couple of... actually, Yuba's 3 pairs. Not a lot else going for it. Could be Chitoi as well. I know I'm going to say Chitoi to everything now because, you know, why not? But potentially options. Prosperous hand looks decent. We'll see how that goes. That could... if you can luck into the early 7-pin or 8-so, you're probably looking good for that. But Rumi's still drawing useful tiles. The 9 is getting isolated, but there's still time that could still become relevant. Yeah, Lily's hand is definitely the strongest, although it's going to be... she's actually going away from Chitoi, so she's looking more towards the Tanpin or just Tanyo Dora. With Tanyo cutting the 9 for Dora. It's closed on the 4, which is a little awkward, given that Rumi has 2 of them, but... early hands mean there's... early good hands mean there's fewer tiles that actually advance you. If you have a worse starting hand, there are more tiles that can potentially help you. Unfortunately, is the way Mahjong goes. But, yeah, so Yuba's also now definitely looking for Chitoi. 5 pairs, 5, 6, 8. Unfortunately, you've discarded a lot of tiles that would be kind of good for a Chitoi. South is a great tile. It's not the bonus to run for anybody except 1 player. Oh, there's the Riichi. So that is Riichi, Ipeiko, Dora. So Mangan waiting on the 8-man. It's next to the Dora. It's also the indicator. So there's only 3 of those available naturally. And at this point, we already know that's actually 2. And it being proximity Vidora means it's unlikely to be played, especially as you've reached on the 7. So this is just a case of can Lily draw it, moving the game on, I suppose. Yeah, and again, you want kind of outside tiles if you're going for a Chitoi, and that's kind of becoming a problem for Yubas right now, I think. He doesn't have anything massively safe. Plays a C7, which is the Suji octave. So 147 in this case. Not a guaranteed thing at the best of times, but best information available. Has folded out, obviously, for Chitoi at this stage, which is fair. Meanwhile, Prospero is not far away from something here, although he's got risky tiles to get rid of here. He's obviously identified he can't get rid of the East, particularly. Because it's currently live. North is also live. It's also Lily's win. So I think Prospero's out of this, despite how good his hand actually is set up. 2 safe tiles for Yubas. And yeah, so Lily's going to be quite happy, reasonably happy with this. She's in last place, but this is obviously a draw state victory at this point, as things go, and it doesn't look as if anybody's going to be able to break around that point. Ubers has got a lot of work to do to make that hand anything from the original Cheetoy position. So Ruby could potentially backdoor into Tenpai actually with that. The problem with that is, of course, you have to play the 9, and there's no indications that High Manzu are safe, with the exception of the 3 6s that are out, actually. Tell a lie. And now, of course, Rumi's got a tile that he can actually use. Decides to play the Easts, because Prospero played one a couple of turns back. Oh, is that Tan? That's Tan. Yeah, that's Furuten Tenpai for Prospero, and that's probably worth staying Furuten for. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, he's going for the single North. Okay. Well, it's a Hellweight North with no Yaku. No, I think I prefer to have the irregular Tanyo, even if it's Furuten. You know North is going to be safe regardless of what you do here, so it's probably the best tile to get rid of at that point. And a three-sided Tenpai, which actually would have paid off, I think. No, it wouldn't have done because he wouldn't have drawn it. He's still, yeah, still Furuten. But, you know, it's... I like irregular three-sided weights when you can get the chance to do them. But... And actually, he's given up Tenpai entirely from that. Now, I disagree with this, because you could have played North, and you know you can play East at this point, so I'm surprised you didn't at least stick for Tenpai for the 1,500 points. I'd be curious to know your thought process there, actually. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like you had a safe path to make 2 more draws and get the draw state, so seems common sense to try it. Anyway, Prospero's dealer turn. So, good initial game from Prospero, that was notwithstanding. And he is rewarded with a very fast hand. So Ishanten with Dora. Pairweight, unfortunately, I think, unless there's a workaround. But this might be worth a Khan, although maybe not now. Because you can play the 5-so here, wait for something else. Decides to cut his pair of 7s, which, again, also kind of... Yeah, okay, I know. A pair of 7s actually works here, because you've got a 3-sided... You got 3 tiles that help you out with at least the card side of things. 3-so, 5-so, 6-so all get you sort of somewhere around that level for improvement values. I've not really focused on anybody else's hand because, as I say, Prospero's Ishanten as dealer. That's what you want to draw. You should probably also have calls off at this point because you're giving information to Rumi there. That 3-so pause is information Rumi can use in a few turns for working out what's safe. Especially if the 6 gets pinged, which it does here. So he's now got information that you've got a lot of Sozu in your hand. But remains Ishanten. So Yuba's with Dragon and some stuff. Cheap hand, but a cheap hand to become dealer is absolutely fine. And again, possibly thinking more towards endgame here. You see 2 whites. You could play the slightly more risky 8. So I say it's only a slight upgrade, but I like keeping the definite safe tile for the Riichi and getting rid of the potentially more dangerous tiles earlier. Again, especially as you've seen, as it's probably going to be waiting on Sozu. Well, maybe you're not. Maybe it'll be on Pinzu, actually, which you've got reasonable masking for. But, you know, there's a possibility you'll end up in a Sozu wait, and you'll be thankful for having a couple of Sozus in the discard pool at that point. You can always draw it the other way around, and this is good camouflage. But equally, you want to camouflage both sides of it. So... yeah, Prospero's 5th discard in a row. If somebody's tracked, he's discarded all 5 of those from hand. They might be getting a little wary about now. He's already pulled off one snipe out of nowhere. Could go for another. But Rumi, I think, has just hit Tenpai and does. So this is 369 Riichi. Well, 7 was a safe tile, so that's fine. I was reacting to nothing there. Well, that's a helpful draw. The problem is you can't play the 5-so now. The worst thing to do right this second is Khan. But you can use the information of the fact you got the block of 4. So you can be reasonably sure that with the 3-6 gone, the 4's all in hand, a pair of 7s as well. You've got information here. That is unfortunate, and he's going to play it.
No. Riichi, Tora ni.
Yeah, I thought that was 369, which is why I was slightly confused there, but actually it was a pair weight, 9-2. So that's on me. Again, tired. Forgot that. Yeah, generally speaking. If the player knows what they're doing, it's not usually a good one to be waiting on anyway. Alright, so, South 1. We have slow-ish start from Ubers. Prospero, 2 Dora, but a hand that needs a little bit of work. Although, actually, the seeds of Tarnpin, possibly Sanchku, are there. Lily, I think, has the best initial hand. Oh, actually, no, scratch that. Lily's Tenpai already on the 7-pin. So, yeah, Yakula's 7-pin Tenpai on turn 2. Size to reach for it as well. 7-pin's unlikely, but again, pressure is on. I'd still avoid it if you can, but again, you don't want to use that as the only bit of information, generally speaking. The reach tile, in many ways, is a distraction, because if your opponent's been playing well, it's a tile they've kept because they know it's safe for the reach. Sanchku Dogen. Nope, no, actually, ignore me. As I said, I'm tired. Thank you, Lily. Yeah, that's Sanchku. Yeah, reach Sanchku. So that's free Han. That's far from worthless. Oh dear. I was up at 6 this morning. I apologize. I mean, to be fair, that's a thing in my earlier streams. I was up at 6 every morning. But hey, making excuses for my commentary. At least I'm not making excuses for my gameplay at the moment. Yeah, so an unlikely one, but you know, Sumoing gives you Mangan effectively, so. And it restricts things. It looks like it might not be the only Sanchku here. I kind of was joking about Prospero's one a little bit, but he's actually developing quite nicely on 7, 8, 9 Sanchku from that. Hello, Egan. How are we doing? Rumi up top does see a bit of way to go. Good, good. Glad to hear it. Well, there's a 7. So Prospero has. Is he Pinfu Tenpai from this? He's in pair weight Tenpai if he wants to do it. Does. Oh no, he's not in pair weight. He can cut that and do it that way around. We had to risk the 5 against the reach to do it, but he's decided that's worth it for this time. Reach Dora Pinfu. Yeah, I guess. Reach Dora Pinfu. So free Han, same value as Lily's. Additional things to now start worrying about. That's a good draw for Ubers, and an unfortunate one for Lily. That's 3 of her tiles gone. 5-sos. Yeah, 5-so was safe to move. Well, there's the 3. And, yep, Ubers has correctly decided he wants to bail. Middle Sozu are just absolutely the safest tiles on the field at the moment. Just look at how cheap Sozu tiles are right now. I think actually with the set of 4s, the set of 5s, the set of 2s, you can play those middle Sozu. The free So is not a problem. Short of pair weights and shenanigans like that, I suppose. Alright. Prospero hits his, I would say effective Mangan, 4-Han hand. Picks up the win on Ubers' dealer turn, and it's now a tight battle for the lead, and it is a tight battle for third as it stands. So, South 2. Lily's hand isn't too bad, considering 1 Dora, no easy Yaku, but Pinfu should be... You should be able to develop something out of that. 3 pairs is... Well, 4 pairs now is a little awkward, but still. It's not bad. Rumi, I want to say Possibilitsu, because that's kind of how I'm looking at it, but if nothing else, Pinfu very, very much a thing from there. A couple of these dragons to get rid of. Prosperous hand up top is okay. Nothing stellar. Yes, it's a bunch of... Oh, I hadn't realized Yuba's had 2 Dora. Okay, Yuba now has 3 Dora. So Yuba's hand now is a case of how fast can you get to a Yaku, and I think Tanyo Dora 3 seems like his best bet here. At this point, cut the 1-man, go... Cuts for 9 instead. I suppose that's all in the same vein here, because he's got the pair run with that as well. He could also just call Middle Tiles and go for it, but... Ice cream truck, by the way. Well, it's just a case of speed, and I think calling as many middle tiles as he gets a chance to call at this point. Alright, Possibility not developing for Rumi, but his Sozu is looking okay at this point. Forso is a good draw for Yubas, who I think is looking a bit more towards just being able to reach and have Dora free at this point, rather than worrying about having an additional Yaku. So Lily's 2 away, depending on how she draws here. But the 9 should be relatively safe to get rid of. Triplet of a 9 for Rumi. So does that put Rumi Ishanten? It technically does, and for the possible Itsu as well. So Ishanten for that Itsu. Okay, no bluff calls from Lily, which is correct with 1 Dora. And yeah, Lily's trying to get rid of 1 of her pairs now. She knows Friso's safe, having seen the other 2, so that makes the decision about which pair to get rid of at least. Prospero up top is Ishanten for Tanya. Good draw. Ishanten for Lily as well. That is the Yuba's hand going to develop. Also, there is now a possible Itsu. Itsu for victory. Itsunomi from Rumi for... Well, I say for the lead. He's already in the lead, but still. Oh, it's a great draw from Yuba. There we are. Reach Dora free. I'd have probably been inclined to stay concealed, given the lateness of it and the fact you got a Mungan, but I can understand the willingness to go for it. Pursuit reach. Rumi just picks up 2 reach picks from nothing. But yeah, advantage of being in Tenpai, occasionally you draw your winner. See my Itsu? Yeah, occasionally that just happens. So Rumi takes a Mungan gap lead going into his dealer turn. So 8,000 now to Prospero. We still have a tight battle for 3rd. Yeah. Stealth win is best win, apparently. Alright. So Lily's hand looks decent. Yuba has 1 Dora. Prospero has a couple of shiny things in his hand, and it's reasonably well connected, so could potentially be a threat. But unfortunately, Lily and Yuba's now need to be considering at least a point difference at this point. Yeah. That's unfortunately Mahjong at times. Now let's see, what's Lily looking at building at this point? Peiko... Ryan Peiko? Are we about to have a visit from Ryan? That'd be rare. That actually might even be good enough to... What's the gap? Hold on, I've just got to change position here, because it works it out for me, so I don't have to worry about it. 20,000 is gapped to 2nd at the moment. without having Dora, it's going to be awkward, but Ryan Peiko, Pinfu, not a bad way to start that process. We always consider the comeback possibilities. I'm not seriously suggesting that is how it should be all in on that hand. At this point, just any win to secure the gap, gain third is probably the plan, but I like considering the implications of things. Also, Prospero has gone up to Dora 3 and Ishan 10. Nope, not quite. There's no pair there, is there? No pair. So 2 away. Does that change things? So you've now got pair. You can cut. You can actually cut the Dora to do it. You'd rather not, I guess. But I mean, Prospero's in the lead. All right, triplet of 6s. Other possibilities may exist for Lily at this stage, but certainly Tanyo. Tanyo's something. There's ways to get that hand to Mungan now, so there's ways to get that hand even higher than Mungan, though those are unlikely hand. I mean, I was thinking Ryan as Magical Christmas Land, but there is another Magical Christmas Land option available here. But I'm just looking around and just seeing how dead most of that is. Not definitely. The 6s are done. The 7s are done. So yeah, okay. So there's no way of getting the Suanko with at least the current set of hands. But, you know. What else are you going to do from here? And I still think that drawing in the 8s pin and going for Ryan is the best play. But 8 pin 5 man and going for that way. But some big hands up around at this point, so we'll see. Alright, Yuba's calling. Trying to secure third. Yeah, Ryan's a possibility here. We were checking for Suanko a little while ago, but that's been proven to be basically not a thing that can be done. Prospero's tempo if he can cut Vidora. Actually, does he have tempo if he cuts Vidora? No, he still doesn't have a pair. Well, no, he still doesn't have a pair at that point. Oh, and that's, I think, Ryan. Yeah, Ryan's now dead. It was kind of on yeah, it was dead already, actually. The 8s were already in people's hands. Ah, that's a shame. GG. Well, we'll see how this result ends, and then we'll go and actually change up some, or get some tables going, and actually get some gameplay in. I'm telling you what, if I'm playing like my analysis is currently suggesting, then yeah, you're in for a good game. You're in for some points. Yeah, that's greed. You have 4 Dora late game and decide to reach. I think that's just giving up 1,000 points for the sake of it. You've got enough of a hand to actually overtake if you hit this. I don't think you need to advertise it. Especially as you're in a pair weight for Dora and 5 man. we don't mind those. I'm always interested in the big loss. Alright, so Prospero hits the Tenpai only. He was probably... Yeah, I think he might have been better off staying open there. Especially with the bad weight, but you know. Let's put him closer. He's now got to find a way to do it with this hand. Although, in fairness, this hand is reasonably well off in terms of trying the attempts. This is a good starting hand. No easy Yaku, unfortunately, but you can cut 1s and potentially go for Tanyo and just see how that goes. Anyway. So, what are the current point situations here? Rumi needs any win. Yubas needs any win to take third. Lily needs basically any win to gain third as well. So 3 players going for quick hands. ultimately. Prospero needs a little bit of work, but one Dora helps. One, two, three. Sanchku is a thing he could be going for, but you don't normally rely on Sanchku as your thing at this point. Nah, this isn't cheater. I don't generally consider 1, 2, 3 as an easy option here, especially as Rumi is unlikely to be playing freeze against this. One's possible, but the fact that he needs the 3-man to complete and he doesn't have other options around Pinfu mean that I'd probably be considering Tanyo over Pinfu here. Especially as Tanyo won. Actually, if he came to it, Sanchku would get him the 3 he needs to overtake his dealer, so yeah. Tanya's just easier though. Or Riichi and Dora is pretty enough. And of course, he doesn't have to do it in one go. He is the last dealer, of course. So in many ways, 4 players with an any win will do mentality, I guess. Okay, pair for Ubers. What's Ubers doing? So he's got the 2-4-6 shape, breaking that up for this, which I guess makes sense because he's got 6-7 and the 7-8-9. So Ishanten, is it? Nope, not quite Ishanten. 2 Shanten. Ran Shanten or whatever whatever it actually is. 7-8 versus 1-2. 1-2 should be gone, in all honesty. But again, it depends on your evaluation of what's already gone before it. There is only a single 9 gone, but generally speaking, the other side of the coin, I suppose, is securing particularly Yaku, which might be a relevant thing. 7-8's worth having over the 1-2 for that basis as well. He might also still be kind of hoping for Sanchku as well as a possible out to just win in 1. So in that case, may not want to get rid of the 1-2 at this stage. He might be forced to later on, but again, Sanchku is still potentially a thing. It's less likely now that he's got that sorted, so the 1-2 should leave now. Yeah, and does. But before then, he still technically had the draw for Sanchku. As unlikely as I've stated it, it's still worth at least keeping your hand in that ballpark. And that is the Pinfu Nomi deal in for 1,000. Oh, yeah. Alright, who's prepared to win some points off me? Alright, so 45. Oh, good game. Hopefully that tired mess was not entirely useless. Alright, so so Solar Flare, Letius, and myself were all new for this, and for some reason Solar hasn't. There we go, Solar's back in. So at the moment it's going to be a roll-off, and I actually have a D3. So we'll see. 1 for Prospero, 2 for Ubers, 3 for Lily. Unless we have any more. If we have 2 more, we can get 2 games going on. In which case I want to shuffle up the people, but we'll give it a moment. Wait for me! Alright, that puts us to 7. If we have an 8, then we can have 2 tables set up, and in which case I don't want this set up because then it will be the exact same game again. So, yeah. Mono has arrived. But we do need 1 more, if that's going to be the case. Can't commit right now, unfortunately. That's fair enough, Jesper. Okay, I'm just going to roll off as is, and Mono can join the next game. So, I rolled a 3, so Lily is joining us for this one. Alright, so this is Letius, myself, Solar Flare, and Lily. Good luck to you all. I wish I actually had an actual 3-sided dice as opposed to just a dice with only 1s, 2s, and 3s. I can't remember which game this is from. Possibly Small World. So I'm fairly certain I sold Small World, so if I did, I sold it without a dice. Whoops. Oh well. Actual day frees are very weird, but you know, I'm one of these people who likes to have them. I might randomly faint again. Shouldn't play. All right, no worries. Yep, your health takes priority, so don't worry about that. We're going to start with a 9-pin. Starting west, hand's not amazing, so we're probably not going to call a dragon unless we get a second Yakuhai of some sort. Okay, interesting. We're probably still not going to do much with this. We're probably just going to play these off, but I've got more chance of drawing that second Yakuhai now. Could also potentially consider Toy and things, but... Ooh, okay. I was talking about this a little while ago, that 5 is not enough to go for it. 6 might be. Do I want to force? I'm going to force. Why not? So I'm probably just going to get rid of this 4-6 next. I should probably get rid of the 4-6 now rather than that later, but if I draw a 5, then my hand is in a much better shape to take advantage of that, because I can play west. So, yeah, play west. Yeah, this a little greedy, but I'm actually okay with this at the moment. Alright, Legends counterattacking is not good for me. But we'll see how this goes. Unfortunate. Yeah, let's get rid of the 4. Get rid of the dangerous tiles now. Worry about other things later. Because unfortunately our hand is basically going to be a white dragon only at the moment. Unless we get some significant upgrades. I mean, drawing a green would be a significant upgrade. I'll take your green. We'll west for a final discard if we need it, and that's pretty good. Draw a green. We actually have Shosanga and Tenpai, which would be nice. Oh, this is greedy. Yeah, I gotta. I mean, we can't wait on west anyway. We've played one, so let's see how this goes. Can we show Sangan? The threat is up. I don't expect this to pay off at all, but, you know, the threat is there. If you run this 100 quid... we do live in interesting times. To be fair, this was almost a nothing hand. I just kept drawing dragons. But, you know. Apparently, I'm being offered 100 quid. So, I'm okay with this. Let's see. Unfortunately, it did say Ron, so I have to wait for somebody to discard it. Also, no direct hints about what my hand is. I mean, in fairness, you've probably already given away, Puffin, but it's fine. You haven't given away specifics. They won't know if it's true. And to be fair, it looks as if it's that, so I wouldn't expect them to be playing it in any case. But, you know. I'm probably just going to take the Tenpai for a draw. That'd be kind of funny, indeed. Well, we're going to stay in because we've got a Mangan, so we're pretty much committed to just do this at this point. The Cookie Fund. That's separate from the Cookie Fund, sir. This is definitely... Cookie Fund is only for killing me in games. Mono says he would. Just draw it, indeed. Yeah, it's equally possible that somebody just has a triplet of the things, so... Either way, there's no green dragons getting played here. These are good. I respect each of these 3 players far too much to go for that. Oh, that would be a good switch, actually. Oh, how's that for a late game switch? The fact is, I'm still going to do this because, you know, Mungan versus 2K hand. Do not give me 100 quid. Unless you absolutely have 100 quid swear and nothing better to do with it, do not give me 100 quid under any circumstances.
つもです。
Well, we sumoed. Show Sangen. Was no wrong, indeed. Yeah, not arguing with that. Yeah, as I say, that was kind of a nothing start as well. I only had the red dragon pair, and I drew pretty much everything else for that, so... As I said, given my tiredness, I need a bit of luck. That's apparently my allotment, though. Second turn east. So currently have Prospero and Yuba's queued up for a second game at this point. If that changes, I will... Did you start with 5 dragons? No, I started with a pair of reds. And I think a west and a... I think I started with a pair of reds, a white, and a west. So I started with 3. I drew into 5 quite quickly because I mentioned in the comment that you can't consider Daisangan at 5. You can only consider Daisangan at 6. No, I've played a lot of games because I used to have to get up at 6 a.m. for work on a Friday. So I'm used to playing Stars of Confusion when very, very tired. It's just been a long while since that's been the case because I work from home these days. Also, we are walking into Ishanten again. Not a great one necessarily, but hey. I had loose Hatsu.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, you made the correct decision at least. Yeah, West Street Fridays today you get 0 sleep. I mean, just because I had limited time to stream most of the times anyway, so... Anyway. Yeah, Ishanten. So I've got to be slightly careful of Legius here with 2 calls. So, red 1. We could Tenpai here. 3 pins seems really awkward to play against him, but actually I kind of like this. So... Yeah, let's take the Tenpai. Hatsu only, we can always fold out if we need to. Maybe upgrade this to a pair weight if we get lucky enough. 8 safe. Yeah, I don't think it's on it 2 up top. I think this is just Dragon early Tenpai, but that means it could potentially be on anything. Middle 5 from the hand. Okay, take 1,000. If you are in Tenpai safely, it's a good idea to be in Tenpai safely. Alright. What are we looking at this time then? We are looking at another reasonably strong starting hand, actually. I'll keep the dragons for a turn, just see if we can get a pair or either of those up, but that's probably the next thing. If you're in Tenpai, you can win. Hey, free draw from Solus calling that. We'll play East since he's played 1 as well. And we'll risk green next time around. Yeah, I do have a tendency to give away bonus tiles in the first 3 or 4 turns early enough, but then that tells you who to worry about and you can start looking for things. There's also the possibility that they just overstretch themselves and weaken the hand as a result. But we'll just play our stand. We'll just play what we're doing here. Alright, so Kyrol's got his excuse in that's even better than my ones because he's got an extra 2 hours on me. Okay, so we need 1 more for a game. We have Prospero, Ubers, and Kyrol currently. Also, we have got ourselves into a position where we are Ishanten at the moment. Actually, are we Ishanten? Yeah, let's get rid of free. Let's get rid of the free pin now. Probably still best. Oh, okay. Well, now we've got to worry about whatever you're doing.
ポンです
Yeah, okay. This is a bit of a greedy counterattack, but we are dealer. We can also play. Actually, can we? We can't play the 4 safely. Yeah, darn it. Okay, fine. I thought we could play the 4 safely.
チーです
As it turns out, we can play the 4 safely. But, you know. Alright, let's go. Ouch. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, I can't play a Dora into that, can I? No. Okay. Yeah, 6 is going to be... 8 and 6 are going to be safer than playing a 5 into that, unfortunately. Yeet indeed. We also know he doesn't need 4s, so... So you never know, maybe we'll get another chance. And 2 goals as dealer, I probably should have gone for it anyway, but... Hand of unknown value, that is probably Dragon and something, but probably not Dragon Honitsu. Second Dragon. Okay, we have Mono in as well. So Prospero, Ubers, Chiral, Mono. Assuming you're all ready to start, game on. Begin. Anytime, let's see if this works.
カン
Carnum South is interesting. Hasn't given us anything, but, you know. Still interesting.
ポン
We've also given Legius his Honitsu. Or else those 2 were suddenly risky.
ロン
And they were risky enough anyway. Somebody had Dora. Yeah, I said it was something. And apparently that something was Dora. Still, if that's the way our dealer is going to go, that's fine. 5 was definitely risky. I don't know if it necessarily would have dealt in. It was 6, 6, 7, 7. But it was definitely, given what the hand was, I'm correct in assuming that was dodgy enough to not play it. But I could have potentially just used it and gone for it. Who knows? Paranorths. This is an okay start. East is the indicator, but so this is probably safer than it would otherwise be, but we'll keep it a turn anyway. Because why not? Actually, we don't. Let's play now. Hatsu. So, Mungan in the lead at the moment. It's not looking like a lot of anything at this point, but North and just win to move the game on is probably fine for us at this point. Pair of 6s. Pair of 6s is okay. Not ideal, but we're still hoping that we can potentially get this last North. And gives us a few other options around here as well. Possibly even opens up the door for Toy Toy. Or Chi Toy. Okay, so here's my justification on this. Because Chi Toy is definitely a thing that we could potentially be doing, 8 and 9 are better than 6. And either way, we wanted the 7 anyway. So, oh, do I go Toy Toy? Yeah, let's. Okay, we have North Toy Toy. We're going to go for Toy Toy. This seems fine. Chi Toy might have been the better option here, but actually, this puts us Ishanten for a hand. 5 and 6 are unlikely. I've got middle things except for the Hellweight North, but nobody else is. They're going to play the North. They almost have to unless they're really concerned about what I'm doing. So, North Toy Toy would be a thing. That is a problem. So the best thing I can draw right now is an 8. That's it. Best thing I can draw right now is an 8-man. Alright, that's fine. We haven't overly committed and we can switch to Tanya. Because the other advantage of this hand, and the 8 actually is safe. And we're back into this then. Okay. Better lucky than good. Snuck back into Ishanta and for Tanyo Toy Toy. Senpai. I have a 6. That is a 7. 7 is safe in both directions. So we stay with the Toy Toy. So worth remembering, of course, we don't have to stay Toy Toy. We can go for Tanyo, but that was free safe to the right. It is no information to the left. 6 has been played since the Riichi. Fine. I have Tanyo Toy Toy.
Ron.
Yeah.
それちょうだい。リーチ、ピンフ、イーペイコー。
Avoidable, but I think our hand was good enough that we could potentially go for it. Maybe I should have considered my lead a little more and just fold it out, but equally, what am I folding with at this point? If no folding decision seems good, you might as well go for the optimal Senpai. That being said, I probably missed that one of the tiles was definitely safe, but hey. Still giving up a free hand at that point is, you know, it's sometimes tricky. Anyway, Lily appears to have had a pair of Easts in the South round. And South to boot. Game evened up back to a 30k game, so everybody in Mung and range. Let's see what we can do here. We can play the 9, because it doesn't have too much bearing on this. And I guess we're looking just to try and sneak this into Tanyo 1. Especially if we draw something 2 or 4 connected to the 3. Hatsu, 1 played, should be fine. I don't like forcing Toy Toy, generally speaking, in most cases. But obviously I had North and Tanyo for backup purposes. Maybe I should have waited for Chi-Toy, but Toy Toy has its place. It definitely has its place, but usually you want it connected to something else that's easier to go into if you need to. It's just sometimes people have better hands. Okay. Understands the accurate plays it. I mean, triplets is difficult, actually, in a weird sort of way. But, yeah. No, fair play. Interesting. Let's cut the 8-6. I should have cut the 6 before the 8, but... So we're tempted by if the last green does come up, or the last 3 comes up. Green obviously gives us the easy Hatsu in, but failing that, this is still okay for us. We've already played 1 8-so, so we'll hold that off. It's probably going to be our safer final deal in. 3 8s are gone though, so this weight is not looking amazing. Still. Okay, so we're now Ipeiko. Ipeiko Dora. Still not going to do anything about this, because Ipeiko Dora even Riichi is free harming, it's an unknown Riichi. So... oh boy. Yeah, okay. So the game this tight and an unknown value hand. Yeah, okay. So 3-6 into Yeah, we'd have given up too many points to deal that in. Couldn't afford that. So we're still in solid second. We have a deal turn left. I'm okay with that process there. And potentially we could have gone round. Advantage of having safe tiles. Ah, boy, accidentally gets the Yakuman, indeed. We can play the one there, but actually we've got at least two, so we'll do that first. So I'm guessing here we're just looking to try and forge something with this. Pinfu, maybe. There's also a win to become dealer is the thing with this one as well. Yeah, I'll get rid of the one here. This way, this is slightly better than just the 1, 2, 4 shape. Although, admittedly, we need 2 7s or an 8 to improve it. But it also moves us on to Tanya, which is a possible out for us here. Could have potentially gone and called that, but we're so far away from a completed hand and a non-guaranteed Tanya that, yeah, that would be aggressive in the extreme. Also worth noting, this is a Dora Dragon round, and yeah, okay, triple of 7s is interesting. Okay, so let's cut that. So with a triplet of 7s, that means the pair situation is potentially lessened. 7 now gives us completed run, potentially triplet, and a couple of weights here. 3-man is still the sticking point, but we can potentially work out with the other stuff if it comes to it. Oh, we've got Sanchiku. And since we got Sanchiku, we're gonna keep the Sanchiku possibility here. And just see if it comes up. So we need 7, 7, and 6 to make Sanchiku work, but it could be a thing. We can also call it, because that way secures with Tanya a bit. Keep on with the plan. We have already discarded a 9. We will discard another one. South. 1 south played. We are sitting south, but we don't have a second, so no double south for us for the moment. Okay, that's fine. So that helps us on the Tanya plan. 7 pin means we cut there. We can always cut the 8 to just go for Tanya. So we've got a couple of ways in with this. Can't believe I helped Mono do a murt. What are you doing, Kyrol? What are you doing? You know better than that. So what was Mono doing this time? I might have to watch that back. You can just give me a reference number. I'll look at that hand afterwards. As I doubt this game's going to be over in the next 4 minutes. Anyway, we have a reach to worry about now. So we've got a definite safe tile there, but it's not safe to anybody else, so we don't want to tunnel vision that away. 6 works for us. Only a small matter, but Ipatsu is... Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Oh, good draw. Good draw. And also the 8's been proven safe, and that's the tile we would want to get rid of for the sequencing. So, yeah, fine. So it means we might have to cover a 6 for Tanya, if that were to come off. But we're not going to push this, I don't think. Yeah, I don't want to push this. So 5, 5, 8, 6. I'll work out some other things there, but okay. So the second 5's been proven safe. We're also now 1 away from Tenpai again. We could potentially risk a 4 to try this, in all honesty. But...
Riichi. 楽しみ.
Well, not anymore. That's Mahjong as well.
ロンそれちょうだい
And so the deal's in for a Mungan. So player in last picks up a Mungan.
リーチ初
Dora Dragons.
にドラマンガン
Yeah. Big win. So I'm back up into the lead, but we're sub 30 at the moment. So could do with a winning hand here. And this is a good start. This is a very good starting hand, actually. Dora is a dragon this time as well, so things to consider. Let's play South on turn 2, because I'd like to know if people have things to worry about here. So Cheetoy is a possibility from this one. Ipeiku Pintu is also a possibility here, so goodness knows. We're going to get rid of Freethin, because I think either way we don't want it. Although now if we end up drawing something connected to it, that's a backfire on the Pinfu side of things. But I think this is the best option here. Dharma Ipeiku winning on the free, though, is a possibility going forward. Let's see. Alright, Hatsus are out. Legius gets a Yakuhai to take the lead in our dealer turn. Not what we want. But we can play ours now. There is always the option of keeping it concealed, but obviously with Cheetoy being an option, I don't want to keep random tiles I know are dead draws for that, so... And Suji for the 8. We also have another Suji available here. But again, if we draw a 4, that transforms what this hand is actually going to be again, so... Both options are available here, and it's keeping both of them alive as much as possible. He's got red. Sailor has red. Freethin has backfired on me. Yeah, so we draw another pair. We're definitely going that way around with things.
Chi.
Honitsu. Hatsu Honitsu would be quite worrying for us, in all honesty. That, however, is quite a good draw. The downside is, I think we're going to have to go into the Hatsu Honitsu to make it work. So we're going to play free man here. So now we are Cheetoy, waiting on 878. And just probably going to Dharma this and see how this goes. We can cut this. We can't afford to cut the 7 here because this is really, really bad for us. So one of each gone, so they're about the same value here. We're going to go that way around. If we end up pairing the 9, we'll risk it with the 8. But there's definitely a Honitsu up top, so worrying things. Dealing into a Cheetoy would be terrible. That, however, is us a lifeline, so we're going to take it. So 898. All of them available. It's just whether we get it. Yeah, I was worried about that. Honitsu. And it was a wait on the 8. For number 2 ones. Alright, last hand. So we need 3,500 points in order to overtake and win. We have no Dora in our opening hand. We have no easy Yaku, so it's going to be reach and hope at this point. Unless we can craft something. If we can craft another Yaku in the meantime, Pinfu, Tanyo, that'll be fine. We'll get there. We are 8-6 above both the other players, so provided we're not dealing in, their Mungans aren't enough to overtake, ignoring us. So that's the thing. If Legis loses 2,500 points, though, we do go into a West round. So another consideration to make there. Hello, Larry. How are we doing? We have a Sanchikyu possibility here, but I think Sanchikyu is greedy for this, so we're going to actually cut the 9-8. 7 888 is a great shape. 7-8 is an outside hand. Is a two-sided Pinfu style weight. this is better. The problem is here with the Green Dragon is that we probably don't want to call it because that secures 1,000 points, which I guess secures a second, but you know, since we only need 3,500 points, we might as well see if we can gain some value here. Okay, we'll cut the 8. So we're up to multiple pairs and a triplet at this point. If we pair or triplet anything else up, we got Toy Toy or Chi Toy as an option, I suppose. But that has pretty much decided which way we're going with this. So let's cut the... Yeah, let's cut the dragons. Now we're going to add Tanyo. So if we can get to Tanyo and something, that gives us enough points to overhaul Legius. Also, we give the dealer a Tatsu, which isn't the worst thing in the world, considering. Oh, Sanzo. Fated Sanzo. But he passes.
Riichi desu.
Oh, we have a safe tile for the Riichi. And then we've got to think about things a little bit. Played a lot of middle low Manzu, well high and low Manzu actually. And we can be reasonably confident about a number of things, I suppose. Alright, let's cut the 4 and the 1. We helped Lily out, but that's not actually the worst thing for us at the moment, so we'll go with that. But we can now sneak into a Tanyo Tenpai with 1 call. Which, as I said, securing second would be an okay prize here. Ah, Sanzo. Honitsu? Nope, not quite. But having played Sanzo now for this means that we're probably not in a position where we can go for this to deal in. No, we wouldn't deal in. 2-pin. 2-pin's not great. He's played 1, 2, 3... Alright.
Long.
Yeah. Reach white 1, we're going to end up third. With that, 6-4. Oh, but yeah. Oh well. So I used to say setting to audio to be off, but it doesn't for whatever reason. It does do some weird updates every now and then, but yeah. So, Fated Sanzo. Modification for the dealing, as mentioned, pretty much we had Ishan turn 2 wasn't safe. And we played it a couple of turns earlier. Again, it was the most ideal tile for us to have some form of Tenpai going to the end, because it could have mattered. Although, missingly with a points gap, it probably wouldn't have done, but it could have done. Anyway. I'm going to now go and observe the other match, but if we do get 4 in the room, I will I will start another thing. I'll start the other game off. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, let's go observing. Okay, so we are starting at South 1. It's a fairly even game at this point. Prospero with a slight lead, Mono, Chiral, Ubers. Hey, tight games. Those sort of margins can matter. Okay, so Prospero with 2 Dora, but I never have this not on silent. That's 2 streams in a row, I think I managed that. Okay. Well, mine is just too much because of the second turn Riichi, which I hadn't even paid attention to, such is my state of tiredness. But Riichi, Sumo, and Nomi. So quick reset. Mono takes the lead, 100 points away from threshold. Going into South 2. Ubers has 3 red Dora in hand, so that's something to look out for. Kyril has what I would say is a ridiculously nice hand. Prospero? Yeah, far less so. It's actually objectively not terrible, but you know. Mono 4 pairs to start with is interesting. We'll see how Mono develops with that. Southwest is obviously his bonus round, so he's got backup plans if he goes Toy Toy route, but he probably won't. Anyway, yeah, so Kyril immediately looking towards the Chanta Sanchku style of hand here. And gets part 1. Still needs a pair, and I think because of that, I probably wouldn't have played the 1 over there. I'd have probably gone for the Sanzo. Although I suppose the Sanzo gives you the option of going for a Sanchku. But he's already called that, so who knows. Yeah, it's the lack of pair that's the problem here, I think. But East and the South round, it's likely that if that has come up to a single weight for that, he can get it. And in fact, he gets it now anyway. So yeah, 9 So Tenpai. And that is a very quick but cheap hand. No worries, Solar. Thanks for joining us. I'll catch you another time. But in the close games, those cheap hands matter. And East repeats. And once again, he's got a quick, if not very expensive hand. Prospero again, a little awkward, but not the worst. Mono has White Dragon and some connectivity among his tiles. Ubers with pair of Easts in the South round. Perfect. Oh, and only 1 Dora this time as opposed to 3. Nope, thought I saw my cat, but apparently not. Yes, my cats have no interest in Mahjong, unfortunately and depressingly. Oh, 1 Dora for Kyril, so the hand upgraded. So most dangerous tile first. Ishanten for pin 2 if he gets the 8. If not, probably looking to just get rid of a 9-7 and go pin for one of the other directions. A cat that can play Mahjong is a good anime idea. I don't know if it's a good anime idea, but it is definitely an anime idea. Anyway, double call from Mono, so that is Tenpai waiting on White Dragon Dora 1 for the Tuso. So again, calling to try and become dealer. 7 safe tile to Mono, and Prospero has drawn the deal in tile, has 2 Dora, and decides to push. Early regional, a lot of indicators, but you probably want to avoid things around the Dora in the main. Still, Mono retakes the 30k position, so can win. See if he does. Animators don't need to be good. This is true. This is very true. They don't. It helps if they are. Okay, so true. We may say that already. So a few interesting things going on from here. Let's see if Ubers remains 1 away. Or whether we're talking about the previous hand. We'll find out, I'm sure. Prospero isn't too bad as dealer. He's not a million miles away. I mean, this is still a close game. Everybody's above 20k. Mono hasn't walked away from it. Among and Sumo is still enough to pretty much put you back on top of the pile. And at this stage, Prospero is now Ishanten for Pinfu. Potentially a 3-sided? No, 2-sided. I mean, can't do that. Trying to work out if there's other upgrades, but not really. Not unless he gets a lot of lucky draws and starts sneaking the thing down. I suppose 8 is technically snaking it up, but you'd get rid of a Dora for that. Although technically Sanchku is worth more than Dora, so. Alright, we have 3 people in the queue, Legius, Lily, and Larry. So I might join that in a moment, but we are close to the end of this, so maybe I'll be shuffling the tables up and we'll see who's around. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. So potential upgrade path, Ipeco, Dora, the... L names only. No. Well, okay, Ladohawk will join you in a moment. Actually, what about starting with L? Lazy Hawk will join you soon. Now, see, with that free draw, I know he's already discarded for 2, but I'd probably be inclined to get rid of a... I don't know, maybe I wouldn't get rid of a 9 in that position, because you still need a pair. Well, he's got it now. I'd say I'd be kind of tempted to get rid of a 9 in that position, but it doesn't change too much. Laserhawk. I'm only a Laserhawk when I'm playing game I haven't played in a long while, Rainbow Six. And it's the fucking Laserhawk. And I've already broken my promise there, thank you very much. Although I do emphasize, is F and lots of O's. So anyway, so 7-4, not a great weight to be on at any given moment. Most of them are going to be in people's hands, but again, not the point of it. Dealer reach this late in the game in a tight game. People are going to try and fold out or just try and sneak around and get into safe tempis. So if nothing else, slowing the game up a little bit for you. So Mon is not going to advance unless he draws a free man, which is impossible because we see a pair of them in both Carl and Yuba's hand. Yuba's probably doesn't want to push a 5 here. It'd be safe, but, you know, he probably doesn't want to push a 5 here. Pushes a different 5, which we know is safe from Prospero. So, yeah. Correct decisions being made. Oh, we could have got his Ipeco, although missing lead would have been awkward. Still could have done it, actually, if he'd have been on the 5-8 weight with that, but, yeah. Again, you don't want to be on a single Ipeco weight as dealer when you need a win of some kind. Pin 2 much better. And there are still 2 7s you could potentially draw. With his last chance. Pepper card Tempai? It does. Oh no, it doesn't. Yep. So 1 player Tempai, 4,000 points gained. Well, 3,000 points gained because you put a reach stick down. And the game compresses. 6-4. 2 Han hand or 2 Han Sumo would be enough. So, has Ton, has Dora. That is good enough for an overtake, potentially. Yubas and Kyril both with Dora Dragons in their opening hands. I wonder if Prospero would get for Cheetoy from here. I think he might be considering it, because otherwise the free's technically better than what he's currently got going on. I think he probably wouldn't play the East. I guess he doesn't want to get rid of the 5, so maybe the free's not better than that. But if you keep the 3 in this position and cut, say, the 9s, you end up with pair, which he's got too many of anyway, and doing that. Yeah, okay, maybe Cheetoy is the play here. How's the rest of the game going at this point? So Kyril's developing nicely. Double run. Couple of middle tile. Well, there we go. Middle tile. So Yishan 10. Okay. Prospero has his... Yeah, he seems... I think he's tunnel visioned in on this Ipeco at the moment. Or at least trying to keep the Dora in. But if you keep the Dora in, the free's a much better tile in your hand at this point. Almost worth you cutting the pair of 5s. But that's a goal for Senpai, which is never a bad thing as dealer. So that I agree with. So 4-pin Tsuji trap. Or the pair weight, which puts you back up to East and Dora. Nope, sticks with a 4. So instead of waiting on 2 potential middle tiles, you're waiting on just the 1. But to be fair, that's 4 and 4, whichever way you see it at this point, because I don't think there are any 5s out there. There are not. Mono hits Chitoi Ishaten. Prospero does have a Khan option, and this is... okay. So what do we think of that Khan decision? Just as a random point here. You are Tenpai. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, that's for dealing. I will be honest, I don't think that 4 was coming out if the Khan had been called, but yeah, it could have been worth more. But equally so could everybody else's. And statistically, there are 3 times as many tiles against you that can do that. Yeah, this is the thing. The Khaning for the extra draw from that position is fine. Also adding to the threat level to try and make people to fold a little bit at that stage. But again, I don't think the 4 would have come out had he have Khaned. But again... Rosberg's doing what he needs to do, which is just kick up wins, get himself close to a position. He needs the Mungan for the knockout blow, and yeah, if you can't, then you're adding value to the table, and there's 3 chance. You only get 1 chance in 4 that it benefits you more than the others, because you know you see 13 tiles, everybody else sees 39. So you know you are adding value to the table in a tight game. Because the last thing you want at this point is to give a Mungan to the player in last place and just lose your dealer turn and lose your last chance at this. Yeah. True. But I think that would have been... if he'd have done it, I'd have said that was justifiable on that basis. But, yeah. Open cards, try not to... I try not to, generally speaking. Anyway... Yubas is a great hand up top, I've just realised there, so that is looking pretty good for just Tanyo Dora 2. Prospero reliant on that south, possibly Honitsu here, which is what he seems to be trying to push towards at this stage. Chiral developing quite nicely. And, yep, Tanyo. Which makes sense for Yubas at this stage, with 2 Dora in hand, needing a catch-up. Seems fine. Okay, Prospero can call South, possibly go for this. South is fine by yourself at this point. South as Dora, as dealer, is going to be enough of a threat, I think, to at least put people on guard, which is probably what you want. 1 and 4 have the same value, so cut the 4. Because it's a more dangerous tile. And if you're getting rid of all 3 for Honitsu, then you do want to get rid of the middle tile first. And if you draw the 3 incidentally, well, we'll take it. South on a 1-4 pair weight is fine. Meanwhile, Mono has snuck himself into Ipeiko Tenpai. It's Ipeiko 2 Dora, which, because he's in the lead and because Mono is being sneaky, yeah, I agree with that completely. Probably, yeah, I'd say you probably do cut the 1 here. Largely because it gives you additional calls for Tenpai onto a pair weight. And now Prospero has the chance to Khan. Yeah, not Tenpai, but equally the rest of your tiles are useful here, and he's eating up a lot of time on that decision. Okay, he's playing the passive bit here. It means he can't call a 3-pin. Well, he can still call a 3-pin actually, but little unfortunate, but also Prospero's really down on time, and that could screw him over in a few moments. There is only actually the 7 is actually a dead weight that Mono's not aware of, but Mono could improve his hand here if he draws a couple of things. There's that free. You can call this for... Well, he's got it that way around anyway. Don't know about that one.
リーチにゃ
Okay, Mono's decided we're into the last row. Let's put some pressure on, see if we can force a fold here. Yeah. Well, Prospero's got that reach to worry about now, but he's got a safe discard in the south, which is one justifiable reason for keeping it, actually. You know it's going to be a safe tile. Especially as with the reach on the board, you probably aren't carning now. Meanwhile, Kairo's got to debate whether the 5 is worth playing here because he's in Tenpai as well. Decides on the counter. Now Prospero should play south. Does. So Kairo's not in a great weight there with a 3-6, but you know, not the point of that really. Oh, Tenpai hit. So 2-5 for a 10. But dealer Tenpai and repeats, and also the 2 passed again. Alright, Haite. Well, that's it. You could even have called that, actually, because if you'd have called that, you know 3 pin's a safe tile.
の点にゃ
Actually, was 3 pin safe against that reach? But you could have called that. 3 pin would have been a safe discard from that, and you could have stayed in Tenpai. Yeah, I think Prospero gave away a Tenpai there. That's the second time I've seen him do that tonight. Yeah, don't forget, if you've got a safe discard and can call for that, then yeah, 1,500 points in keeping your dealership is important. It's worth enough. It's worth that at that point. Anyway, final hand. Mono just needs anything to get out of dodge with a win. Everybody else needs to sumo to put this into West round. That's complicated. I don't think it was, because he could have called, and obviously he knew the 3 was safe because he could see Kairo's discard pools. Admittingly, Prospero was really down on time, so he might not have had the time to fully work that out. But yeah, staying in Tenpai gives you the extra 1,500 point buffer, keeps you the dealership, keeps you going, keeps you on pace with Mono. Yeah, it just feels like points left on the table, that's all. That needlessly. This score structure is win advantage. So winner has the advantage. Second, pretty much you get what you stick with. The other 2 lose staggering points on that basis. But this is winner advantage rather than anything else. Anyway, Mono has Yakuhai potentially to get out of this. Also has Honitsu. Also has Toy Toy as options. But any win will do. Yubas, however, is building up nicely. Yubas, though, does need a big hand to pull this back. Hanuman Sumo is what you actually need to win. In terms of positional gains, Mangan Sumo, I think, puts you into second. Sorry, just here because it's going to be easiest. Oh, yeah, Mangan Sumo. Mangan direct hit from anybody else puts you second. So, yeah, Mangan Hanuman is what you need. Anyway, Mono with 2 calls for Hatsu only. Chiral needs Sing South with 1 Dora, 2,000. Oh, it's possible if he's lucky he can overtake Prospero here. I don't think it quite works out for him at the moment. But again, if he gets any hit off Mono, it's a West round and he's got another chance of actually going for the win. So. And Mono is dealer, so any sumo that isn't a trash hand would do it.
リーチ
Alright, reach on the pair weight for 2-5. So a couple of pair weights going on. Prospero has got himself into interesting Ishanten. And Riichi Patsu Sumo. Is that good enough? Probably not, but it is Mungan. So that will be second, I think. And, oh, actually, it's into the lead, sorry, because obviously the other is 4,000. And West 1. Ubers, sudden death, 30k or bust. You need 1,000 points. You also have a pair of Souths in the West round, as is tradition. So, who's looking good for a quick getaway here? Kyril has a Yakuhai. Ubers doesn't. Yeah, so Kyrill's the only one with a quick Yakuhai getaway. Everybody else also has a bunch of terminals in their hands, so advantage Kyril based on the initial hands. Let's see. Okay, Prospero calls. We will do one more game tonight. I think we have enough for 2 tables, so I'll shuffle up once I see the end of this. For Ubers in this position? I don't think so. But I guess it's an option given that South doesn't do anything for you. Was that spoilers, sir? Was that spoilers, Mono? Grumble, grumble. Why would you cheat away? I mean, with this, I don't think you do. But anyway, Kyril has got himself into the 4-7 for Hatsudora for the win. Well, Hatsudora for dealership, anyway. Continuing on, because of course, first strike is important, but actually Kyril needs 10,000 points to actually take the win outright here. Prospero needs a Mungan. There is a Sumo. And I think we go again. Hatsudora, 2k. Alright, West 2. Any Mungan for victory. Anybody picks up a Mungan here, they win. Kyril to start. Kyril dealership. Yakuhai, reasonable but not great hand. Looking a bit edgy. Yeah, okay. Mono has a terrible hand. Prospero's hand has 2 Dora. 3 Dora now. But is a little awkward. Still, 3 Dora is Mungan. Pretty much confirmed. Pair of Souths in the South seat, so South Dora free. Prospero has Mungan, or at least the route set up for the win there. Okay, double Yakuhai for Kyril. Yeah, Prospero just all out call for this as much as you can. Mono, White Dragon. Mono doesn't need that many points. White and Dora would be enough, I think. Although he's still got a way to go. Yuba's running scared. Although actually Yuba's hand's looking quite good as well. Just a bit slow. Or slower compared to all this calling going on. A little bit. Looking like a single weight at this point. With 1 East remaining. Well, pair weight got it at least. So it's at least you're at least set up for a repeat. Alright, Prospero slight improvement, so Ishanten. Still needs a pair somewhere. Double Dora for Mono. So Mono, I think Mono had enough with just the 1, but definitely if he's got 2. Single weight for Prospero at the moment. Decides not to go with it, which is the correct decision based on what we can see here. Trying to maximize his chances of getting the Pinfu and then just having the pair, I suppose. Because, I mean, if he draws a 6-9, he can go for a 2-5 or a 3-6 pair weight. And if he pairs up anything in the middle, that will allow him to get Tenpai anyway. So, pair of 6s, yeah, that'll do. So, Tenpai 6-9. Yuba's not playing that 8-pin and has nothing connected to it either. That's going to be a problem later. Well, 1-4-7 for Mono for victory. Prospero Sumos, and that is game. Yep, South Dora free, Mahjong. Prospero takes the win. And GG, close game, well fought. I might have to go back and analyze that because there's a few things that I noticed that were quite interesting. So I'll probably... let me just actually make a note to do that. Can I actually save it in here? I think I can, but this is going to end up doing that at that point. Winning 2 hands, never dealing in and getting 4th. Oh dear. Alright. Okay, I will try and log that one. Literally 1 hand and got 2nd. Yeah, this is what I'm probably going to have to analyze. Somewhere I can favourite these, I'm sure I can. But alright, I'll work it out later. But there is a way I can definitely favourite those and sort that out. Somebody could probably tell me. But, you know. Anyway. Right, we have 11 people currently online. So let's see how we're looking here. We have Legius, Urza, Ubers, Lily, Prospero, Shadowhawk, Mono. So that's 7 queued up. If we have one more, I can do a shuffle and start putting some tables together. If not, you can only favourite your own. Ah, okay. Fair enough. That's fine. I'll just have to analyse that in my own time and remember it. It's fine. It's in the log. I mean, in fairness, all the games are in the log. So I'm not playing them and not feeling it. That's fine. If we don't have anybody else, then I'm probably just going to shuffle this up and see how this goes. And probably use some roll-offs. I'll take myself out of consideration if it gets to that point. It looks like we are stuck on 7, so I am going to take myself out of the running, and we'll set up and do some analysis on another game. Unless one more person randomly turns up. Alright, so D6 to see who is in for position 1. Position 1, Urza, who I think actually would have got priority anyway because you're here. Also, hi Urza. Right, D5, which I don't have on me, so D6 is going to 6. 1, Legius. Oh, Larry joined up. Okay, no, ignore that plan. Well, okay, then I'm going to rejoin. And then the question is, Ubers, Lily, Prospero, Mono. Alright, so Mono... Hello, Urza. Alright. I haven't played with Mono in a while, and that seems like a tough table. So I'm going to put myself and... Actually, they're both tough tables. I'm going to put myself and Mono on game 1, and then I'm going to start up the other game with Ubers, Lily, Prospero, and Larry. So we're going to go with that. And I'm sure Mono will be extremely happy that it's Lily on the same table for their ongoing rivalry? Question mark. But I haven't played Mono in a while, so let's go. Alright, what are we looking at here? We are looking at a number of tiles. White Dragon Dora as well. Which is not going to be a problem, I think, in the main. Well, I'll keep it going. Probably play it on the second discard if we don't get anything useful. Actually, no, we'll keep it. We'll keep it. To be honest, I'm mostly keeping it because I don't think I've got anything else in terms of development plans. Triplet of the 4s. So I kept it a couple of turns. There's a chance we'd pair it up and it'd be useful, but at this stage, not really. And hey, we're devaluing other people's hands, at least in terms of incidental knowledge. Let's cut the 9. So Tanyo seems difficult. Reach, Nomi. Seems Larry's disconnected. Okay, hold on. Okay. That game is now paused. And I've eaten up some time. North. Well, let me know when that starts back up and I will I'll resume things. Back now. Okay. Thank you. Restore. Nine does nothing for me. Well, we can always cut the 4 to be a pair anyway, so I think this is the better way round at this stage, and this potentially gives us some other options. Probably end up cutting the 1-2 after this, but...
リーチにゃ
yeah, I said probably. Yeah, we can play safe against that discard in the first instance, so we shall. Probably not going to be able to do a lot against this hand, in all honesty. One from my hand. And given our hand value is basically null or nothing, we're going to pretty much ignore this, just play the 1-2 out and see if we can work around such things. Third dragon. There is a chance Mono's on on a single weight dragon. That is the sort of thing he would do. But that should be safe. We'll play that if we need to. For the moment, though, we seem to be reasonably safe on just discarding everything else, so... okay, that's a good draw. Sounds continuing the hand. So if we draw exactly 7, we actually have Tenpai. If we draw 2, we could potentially work around that and go this way. Fourth south. Okay, so white is absolutely safe. Oh, 7's gone. 7, 7, 7, 6, 6. Okay, 8's not guaranteed. And he probably is on an awkward weight anyway, so... yeah, we're probably not hitting Tenpai with this hand, so I'm just going to concentrate on playing that safe and then this safe. And Mono can have his draw. We're not dealer, so we're not at risk for doing things at this stage. Or the onus is not on us to necessarily do things. The onus is on Urza.
脳天
And it was a big hand. Unfortunately, I drew all his winners. Okay, West round. East 2. Yeah, we'll play East. No, he's walking off. Darn it, he's being stealthy. He came up to say hi, brushed my leg, and then walked off. So 2 safe tiles, alien pair for Pinfu at the moment. See how things develop. Yeah, Freepin doesn't do a lot, but also 9 isn't that helpful. Given we've got a 4-6-8 shape there. Yeah. Because we're probably going to use this as a pair, or at least safe tiles down the line, we'll get rid of 9, because we might end up Tanya with this, yeah. Though, almost no value going on with this hand right now. Yeah, okay, free pin. And no, we don't have an interest in playing south. But there's 2 definite safe tiles now. Ooh. Interesting. Interesting, but not actually doing a lot, so we're going to trade 5 for 5 here. Hey, we played 2 middle tiles. Maybe we're in tempo. Maybe you need to worry about us. Live red. You know, maybe I am.
Riichi です。
Ah, Ezra doesn't care. But advantage of 2 safe tiles. We don't either. So, Tanpin, Pinzu, High Sozi.
妻、ごめんなさいね。
Yep, our read was accurate. Mongan. Alright, Urza takes the prime position, going into Mono's dealer turn. North. Yeah, I don't mind a reset here if it happens. Urza does not want to. Urza does not want to reset. That is acceptable. We'll play out 5. One's not great for us, but it's not the worst. Honestly, this hand is a long way from anything particularly good, but... Call for dealer. Alright. More memes going on. I have hit Dora. Yeah, we'll hold off. Mono wants to play silly buggers, he's allowed. Who knows? Maybe he's actually tempo. Maybe he's actually tempo. Good draw. So now I've got to make some decisions. And I think the decision we're going to make is that we're going to get rid of the 7-5. Because we don't want to lose the Dora shape, even though that ends up being our weight. Prefer to play to the edges at the moment. We could potentially do a 3-4-5 Sanchku, though that's a bit of a way off. Pair of 4s. This feels awkward.
ポンです。
Which means I've got to call this. So that's a call for Ishanten. So Hatsu 1. No, there's that 6 so we actually need.
リーチ。楽しみ。ジーニャ。
Well, everyone's going for it. Could play 3 pin here, and that's probably our safest bet. Gonna play the 2 though. Not quite. West is relatively safe. It's not anybody's wind. Honitsu, I guess, is a concern if Mono's got that. Okay. Free pin it is then. Yeah, we're out. You're not in game, are you? No, you're not. Mono clearly had something. He had 2 Doras, what he had. Well, Mono takes the lead. Dealer Mangan. Such things happen. Alright, red to start. Dora North. Initial hand isn't bad, but nothing stellar. Although, that helps it. That helps it a great deal. Now, though, we just got to find a way of actually using them. Probably just trying to make a Pinfu here, but we'll see. Pinfu Sanchku as a maybe outside chance here, but probably just Pinfu. Or Riichi waiting on the free, so. Triplet for 2s is interesting. Alright, Ishanten. I mean, a North 2 pair weight would be okay. Effectively means I'd be reaching for Dora 3, but... Six. Is there a chance this... No, there's no chance this becomes Chanta, so we'll do that. Yeah, because we got a pair of 2s. I suppose if we get rid of that at some point, then maybe, but... And that's a backfire, but still, I prefer to play the safer tile now. One South played. We're still in the East round, so South is a pretty safe tile right at this moment. Yeah, we'll play that out here. Without knowledge of what Mono's up to. And I think there was a pause on the 8, so somebody might want that. Two-5 North 2-man. That's what we need. Alright, free pin gives us another option here. We can draw another free pin to potentially get there as well. Only one of those left at missingly, but you know, it gives us a marginal upside. 9 does nothing for us. If we get the chance to call North, we're probably going to do it. Even Yakulus, because of the threat levels. Late 7 pin.
Bondes.
So this is a Yakulus Tenpai. Not much we can do with this other than just sit it here, but I'm hoping that that's going to force the fold here. Although I get a random 2-5 high tier, I suppose. You never know. Could be a thing. Yeah, actually, that's not a bad swap. Doesn't do anything particularly, but you know. That also doesn't particularly do anything, but, you know, why not? If we had enough turns, we could potentially march it down. Alright, so I've got one shot. Should C5 now? No, didn't. We played a Sandpin not long ago. We'll do that. Oh, what the heck are you all doing? What the heck are you all doing? No respect for a Dora free shown. To be fair, I was bluffing, but still, no respect shown. Again, though, if you can get to Tenpai safely, there's absolutely zero reason not to be there at the end of the game. It is worth points, and those points can add up. They know you bluff. I don't bluff that often, really. Yeah, but again, it's fine. All right, so we have Yakihai, we have Adora. It's disconnected from anything else we're doing. Urza is possibly on a counter, more likely Honitsu. We'll see. I mean, free Dora. What's not to love? Free Dora. That mono had to play that is interesting, but free Dora. Have another 7. Thank you very much. We are into a Dora wait. Actually, we won't turn calls off because we might Karn. You never know. This might be a Karning position. Actually, we're in last place. No, actually, we're not in third place. But this is still a Karning position, given the gap. Who's afraid of a Shadowhawk now? Nobody. Nobody. Honitsu then. Does mean you will be forced to play a 9 if you draw one. Actually, no, you won't. You got the heart, so you can go around that. Danzo into the Reach. Sandpin into the Reach. The Reach and the Honitsu. What are we playing like at the moment? We're not playing well. We have made free calls, so we're gonna have to go for this regardless. But what are we playing like at the moment? 7-man into the Reach. Because who would be waiting on a 7-man if you got the option? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Middle tile, no chance. Yeah, people were waiting on sensible edge tiles like this 1 pin. Exactly. Yeah, I'll take a 2600 loss from that. Alright. Let's try to not play this on Lake and Ass. South to start. Do we force Honitsu this early? Maybe. maybe. Yeah, I think this is looking it at the moment. Okay, so Honitsu as dealer. Yakuhai looked like White Dragon or nothing, but actually, if we keep drawing Sozu tiles, then we're just going Chinitsu with us. Well, we keep drawing Sozu tiles, so quick calculation of where we're actually sitting. Have I drawn entirely Sozu tiles this game? I'm just trying to say it. So, run pair, run triplets. 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6. Each down 10. I think we found the magical sands of hell here. We're doing this on the Kazoe Yakuman shells. Just saying. This is the only reason we're reaching this. This is not a reach hand in any other situation, but we're in last place. We put the Suji trap up. It's an unlikely payoff. We're not folding this. There is a chance of the Kazoe Yakuman. At the very least, we have Chinitsu Itsu, which is 8. This is a dealer Baiman before we start. Reach takes us to 9. Sumo takes us to 10. Any Uradura puts us up to Sun Baiman. So, yeah. And if we hit Ura 4, well, that's just it. Kazoe Yakuman achieved. Also, thanks, Rez. I assume that was a message about my hand. Oh, Fated Sanzo has been played. Is that 7 so been played? There's 3 of those left. Nobody's played Sozu the entire game, though. It's just a case of whether I draw it at this stage, but this is still a monster. Wrong 7 for us. Also safe in both directions. The question is, does Mono have the bad luck to play a 7 against us at this point? No. Well, I have a feeling this hand's been killed, but we'll see.
Riichi, 楽しみ。ロン、それちょうだい。
Well, that is unfortunate.
リーチ一発、ピンフ、ドラ、ドラ。
We wouldn't have hit any Ura, so that was just going to stop. That was a dealer Baiman, unfortunately, but such is the way things go. Unfortunate. I mean, what was the start of that game? Just endless numbers of Sozu? No, that was never an all greens. When you consider that a Chinitsu is already 6, the fact that we had Itsu with there as well to make it 8, we could have possibly waited and gone for a more favourable Sozu Chinitsu, but... But yeah, guaranteed dealer Baiman. Possible dealer San Baiman. We probably shouldn't have even reached with that, in truth. But I got greedy. If you have a dealer buyman, don't reach. Basically, is the advice I'd give you here. I didn't follow it, but do as I say rather than as I do. Hey, hey. In the meantime, we are not drawing well in the slightest after that, but then who could blame the game for giving us bad discards? On average, it's got to. Based on that last game. Draw a red, though. And play by Legius. We'll see if we can make that work. If not, we're probably going to just try and force a Tanya here. We are the last dealer, so we at least have that shot going for us later down the line. Oh, absolutely. Do as I say rather than as I do. That would have been probably the better way to handle that. But I got greedy and figured, you know what, let's play this big, go for a Sun, buy him, and Kizoe Ackerman. Because, I mean, to be fair, if we'd have done that and then realised there was a 1-so as the Uradura indicator, you know, losing that shot would have been a big, big hit. Speaking of big, big hits. Speaking of big hits, Legius is keeping things interesting. Picking up another small win from Urza. So there's a good 30k game going on here, and I'm just sort of on the peripheries of it. Did something happen? Suji trap! That sounds like interesting things have happened on the other table. Well, maybe this is our Shinitsu this time. We'll see. Shinitsu Itsudora? I mean, I was kind of half joking, but we'll see how this goes. Okay, game. What are you doing at the moment? Because this is a very nice hand. I mean, I should have played 2-pin over the one there, but I'm, again, information denial at this stage. I mean, if you draw a 7, man, there's other options with this as well. That gives us, what, Sananko, Suanko. Let's see. Probably we're going to go for the Chinitsu here, but you never know. If we draw another triplet, then we're going to have to think about other hands, aren't we? Should have called that. Should definitely have called that 8. This is me getting greedy again. I should have called the 8. Because I'd have then skipped the draw. I wouldn't have drawn that 9. Not unless you play a 9. Oh, it happens, unfortunately. Okay, here we go. Let's hope we don't end up needing that 8. Good news is Urza isn't giving indications that I've given up a Suanko here, so we did play a 2. Open it, Sue! Possibly. We can afford to play safe here, I think, but we'll play the white. We're on a Hanneman hand. We can afford to push this if we need to. And we do. This is a chance at actually picking up enough points to get back into this, so... do you want to just record the hand number and I'll see if I can review that after this? Yes, I need this last 5-man, which is the problem, I think. Well, need a 6, a 5, or something off of this. Right, we'll play safe for the last discard. I mean, in fairness, both of them were safe, but... unfortunate. Still got chances, though. Not over. Sounds like it should have been. Again, I'll have to review that after this game, but if you let me know what the hand number is, I can get there a bit quicker. Play West. Two of them are already out, so this is a quite quick hand. Fortunately, not worth an awful lot, but you know, at this stage we can't be picky. Oh, secure the pair. So, Ishanten. You can't get sumo only if you've made a call. Yeah. Yeah, so if you've got an open hand, then it is then you can't have sumo as a Yaku. Because, I mean, sumo's a bit deceptive. You obviously sumo when you self-draw a winning tile, but the actual Yaku sumo is a fully concealed hand, like yours has got there. No calls. No calls and drawing your winning tile, basically, is sumo. Sumo the Yaku as opposed to the act of sumoing. Menzan, indeed. Well, guess what we're trying to do? Honestly, we're not, but this hand's so close to just being the Honitsu start that we're going to set this up anyway. Well, pairs is an option. Yeah, stand calls off. We're not going to go and start calling like mad with this hand, I don't think, but... We're at 8. And because we're at 8, we are going to not go that way round with things. No, it happens. Don't worry about it. Such things are easily forgotten about. Okay, so greens are out. On the other hand, safe tile. Eternally you shan't turn. It is in fact a thing that occasionally happens. Alright, Easts are out. The good news is we have so many good safe tiles at the moment. That we're dealing with the 2-man, of course. Interesting. As are clearly deciding that you need to just confirm it. Although, in fairness, that would have been a deal-in had I have been Tenpai for Kokushi. Still.
Riichi.
Still, we're not doing too badly here, actually. This has gone quite well after the initial hand. I should probably have had calls off for a bit, though, because, yeah, we're not going Chitoi anymore, are we? Maybe? No, we're not. We're definitely not Chitoi. We'd be Shanten for Chitoi. Of course we're Chitoi. Ignore me. There was never any doubt. We were always Chitoi. Nah, we can't push this. Thanks for the analysis, Rose. Five pin being randomly safe would be awesome for us right now. Just saying, but it is dodgy. That's it. I don't know why I set that up, but hey. So one of the only person Tenpai. Down to 9-6. South 3. Well, this is a slightly better hand. I'm not having to contemplate Kokushi nonsense with it. Let's start with a 3-pin discard, though. Just to put the idea in people's heads that that might be what we're thinking. Seed of doubt and all that. We've had so many half-flush hands this game. It's kind of silly. Sure. Sure. No 7-pin for us. West does nothing. East does nothing as well here. Call Honitsu coming up. 2-5 would be lovely. I don't think it gives us a lot, but it does give us potentially Ipeco here. Red does nothing. Triplet of a sixes. Not doing anything with that. That 2-5 puts us in a 7-so only. 7-so puts us into the better weight. 4-pin does nothing for us. So possibly give Mono another draw.
Chi.
Yeah, we'll take the Tenpai, 2-5, Honitsu. With the possibility of calling the North, of course. So yeah, 2-Han hand to become dealer.
Long.
Okay, that's good and that's bad for us in a few ways. Firstly, we didn't win. But, okay. Actually, it makes no difference whatsoever. Sorry, I thought for some reason they'd both be below 30k, but that was never going to work out based on the mathematics of it. This is a great hand. Sanchiku. There are very few hands you look at and go Sanchiku, but this is a hand we can look at and go Sanchiku. We can luck into drawing a 1-man, that'd be ideal. Downside, Mono has just said, you want a Sanchiku, do you? Well, tough, it's not happening. We end up in a 1-4 pin 2-weight. It's probably our best bet now. But we are dealer, any win will do. We're not going to get bogged down on the value of it at this stage. Then we can sneak up to 2-3-4 Sanchiku, of course.
Chi.
People are not wanting to have a quick game. I don't know. What is with this? What is with this table and just not being a calm, friendly game of Mahjong with zero stress? Clearly, that is the optimal way this should go. Still, Ishanten.
Riichi desu.
1-3-5. 1-3-4. Also means we can get the Sanchiku here if there is a... We can get Chankan Sanchiku. Ipatsu Sanchiku Pinfu. Oh, let's turn into a monster randomly out of nowhere. Dealer Hanneman, game on. And suddenly I need a 2-Han hand for victory out of nowhere. North to restart. I gave up on the Sanchiku as well. I felt that was impossible after the triplet call, and that, in fairness, mathematically works for us. Let's see if the other Yaku we always want to possibly happen could. I was hoping for a Mono Chankan. Same here, honestly, because I've never pulled off Chankan. I've never actually seen a Chankan on the Soul, or actually, yeah, I've not seen a Chankan in any kind of online format, which is, you know, it's one of the odd, obscure ones. But, you know, oh, we got a pair as well. This is monstrously good for us. 4-so, 5-so. Preferably 5-so, because that gives us the Pinfu for other outs, but anything connected to this 5 And we have Riichi Pinfu 1. Possibly with an Itsu, but we don't need it. Pinfu and 1 is enough. Anything connected to that 6-pin, anything Sozu tile pretty much. Seven so gets us there, 9 so gets us there, 6 so gets us there. 4, 5 so gets us there. 6-pin itself would get us there in an odd way because we go for the pair weight. Another 2-man would get us there. And we need the 2-hand hand, which is exactly what we've got. Riichi and 1. Or Pintu and 1, actually. Can't have it open, though. We win on a 5 so. No sense in us reaching. Reaching doesn't matter. We would still be above 30k with a win here. We will stick with the possibility of a 5 so being played.
Riichi です。
Double CG. Given how far behind we were, I'm actually okay with taking the risk here. Possibility for victory! Slam that down. Sumo, Itsu, Dora, Mangan, never didn't have it. 40,000 victory. And oh wow, that is a priority nightmare. Mono, I feel you are hard done by here. Oh, that felt good. Not gonna lie, that felt really good. No, priority. Priority is in fact a thing. Is the other game still going on? CG seat order, please. I did random seat order, I always do. That was, yeah. I enjoyed the end of that. I wasn't enjoying most of the game up to that point because you kept killing my monster hands. You people at the table. And then suddenly I get Sanshiku, the impossible Sanshiku, and the possible Itsu. But hey, alright, so South 1. We have a Lily in a monstrous lead, Larry doing a solid job in second, and Prosper and Yuba's both on the cusp. Good draw from Lily, just developing nicely. So, I mean, developing against the Riichi, of course. So, you're playing safe as much as you can. Larry's in a single weight here, so it's not amazing. Yeah, this is a really good lead. Not impossible. I mean, Larry can still make a comeback, and you're only in South 1. 14-2 is not a huge gap. But can you make the Sanzo pass? Probably not. And no, you're not even going to try, which is fair. Oh, well, there's actually 2 Riichis I hadn't noticed. Yuba's also reaching. Yeah, waiting on 8-pin only. Which, unfortunately, is dead because 3 in Larry's hand, 1 in Lily's. But the disadvantage you sometimes take of reaching on a single tile. Oh, and you had a possible Itsu as well. I may have to watch that finale back. I mean, I know I said I've got another game to review tonight, and I will find that, but welcome. A lot of my early hands were amazing. I just couldn't finish them. All right, 2-player Tenpai, and we move into Yuba's dealer turn. South 2. Prospero is on 2,200 points. So, Cubas, there's a few ways you can play this. You are miles behind Larry. Any sumo pretty much ends the game from your perspective here, especially, you know, your dealer sumo. So the question is, how do you play? And in all honesty, you should probably just play your normal game here. You are unlikely to be challenging Lily or Larry. Larry is going to go all out for a Mungan if he wants to lead, or can just try and secure second from there. Both are perfectly viable. It depends what your priority is. This is a winner advantage format, although given how many weeks it's been since I've updated that darn table, goodness knows who is currently winning. Extra 32 points on the table. This is true. That's a lot of sticks. But, so, let's go to Larry here. We do focus on dealer, but, yeah, Mungan would be enough for Larry to just overtake and also knock Prospero out at the same time. So if Larry pulls up a Mungan, he does win. Lily can win with a 2-hand sumo, but Yubas has the double Dora. So that's looking like the likely place here. Prospero has got the dragon. He's got 2 triplets of dragons, actually. Triplet 2s, triplet dragons. Potentially another 2 there. It's awkward, especially as that door looks isolated in the hand, and given the 8s we see, it's probably going to remain so. Oh, another isolated Dora tile. He's got to keep them, though. He needs the value. Oh, he decides he doesn't need that. I'd be tempted to call this from Yubas here, because this seems like a solid enough hand to try Toy with. You also have the Dora threat, so if somebody does end up playing that, you can sort of chase them off on value. But because if you consider, if you call as dealer from this position, Lily is probably going to play safe around you because Lily does not want to lose the lead to Larry. Larry is probably the only one. I don't know, maybe. I was going to analysis on this, but actually I don't agree with that decision. Larry probably would be okay with the 5 being called at this point. Okay, so Larry going for the call here. And just leaning into Tanyo. Which, yep, Ishante and Tanyo seems fine. Alright, Prospero has called the Dora. Doesn't. See, if you'd called the 5 and then that, you'd have been so strong in a position. But I can understand why you didn't. And seal in. Riichi Ipatsu Red Dragon, and that is 6-4, and all the bonuses. Now we have 1,200 points on the table. Prospero in third, Yuba's needing a Mungan to gain out of last place at the moment. Larry, the time is now. You need a Mungan here as dealer to take the win. Fortunately, the hand does not look good for that. At least in terms, it's not a bad starting hand, but in terms of the value requirements, it's not good. Ooh. Oh, I disagree with this. I hadn't registered with the first one. I certainly registered with the second one, but you had Chitoy as a possible option here. You had 4 pairs. I'd have been tempted to go with that. Because it's a good silent hand that is worth Hanneman if you sumo it with Dora, which you now have. Looks like he's just trying to force Tanyo. Would be a great hand for Suanko. Insofar as any hand is a good hand for Suanko. I mean, 1 triplet and 3 pairs, Toy for sure, but obviously he only had the pair of Norse at the time. Possibly discard priority order would be a thing to review, I guess. Although in fairness, I don't think you got that many loose tiles. You had the 1, which was semi-loose, 7 white dragon. Alright, so call for Tenpai. So south only for 1,000. Prospero with 2 Dora, but really in a sort of dead position in many ways. Would need a big direct hit to change anything particularly. Hubers really needs to pair up one of his middle Pinzus, I think, to try and upgrade the hand another step. I don't think it would, because with South Toy Toy and a direct hit from Prospero, you can take the position back. Is my thinking on this, but there's a 6. Lily's just trying to stay out of this one and try and just snipe a win if she can. GG. Well, the game has ended. Please, no spoilers. At least while I get to the end of this. That is probably the last game for tonight, although if you do want me to review anything, I can have a quick look at that now, once this is done. But yeah, some interesting results and games this tonight, in all honesty. Okay, triple it for 6s. So building up there. Difficulty here is, I guess, making this into Mangan with that, but Riichi would draw a 1 currently, so 4,000 roughly. Unless we're about to see some nonsense. 8 is a deal in.
No.
Wind only 1,000 points. Yeah, I don't know if he was actually had an opportunity to upgrade that, but Shadow Luck Jam. Well, let's see how this goes then. So we'll sit behind the dealer. We have Dora South in Yuba's hand. Is it? That is what you want to see if you want to try and get back into third. Dora Free South. So that's definite Mungan. From last against 330k on South 2 and still won. I only won 2 big hands. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I won 2 hands, basically, that whole game. If you want me to review it, I will, because, you know, it was ridiculous. But Larry's hand looks quite good, actually, from here. I still need to make that a Mungan somehow, which is not the easiest thing in the world from what you're currently doing, but it's fine. Lily's just, again, trying to stay out of trouble and just kill off the game. Okay, so possible Sanchiku? White Sanchiku would be enough, I think, for Mungan from there. Sounds like an anime plot. Well, no, I didn't do any kind of cheating free tile draw shenanigans to do that. I wish I could do free tile draw shenanigans. Alright, Riichi Dora free. Yeah, and it's just saying his hand doesn't quite look ready for that, so he needs to luck out with Oridura, but the fact that Ubers has got that started. You should take anime Mahjong. If you want to fund that mono, you go right ahead. I mean, somebody does owe me 100, although I suppose I could put that through it. Oh, except it was wrong, so fair. So you expect this absolute madman to play Vidora South. Well, you say absolute madman. Sometimes situations get weird. We'll see. So, yeah, so Lily just hits Tenpai for Pinfu. So Pinfu Ipeiko, absolutely fine. That just closes out the game. So, and as long as you can do it safely, it's exactly what you're supposed to do when you've got a lead towards the end of the game. Just get to a position where you have enough points to win with. Stick. Wait. Why did you not win on the South? Oh no, you're not waiting on South, are you? No, you're waiting on the 9. Yeah, you're waiting on the 9-6. Ignore me. No, I've gone blind. Call it late night, whatever else. But yeah, 9-6. Yeah, you did. I mean, going for Dora 3 is dodgy, and that's the comeback. Well, I say comeback. You've at least hit yourself into yourself back into third. Mangan. Yeah, I'm surprised Larry risked that. Although, in fairness, he's probably got nothing to lose against your thing at that point. Although Mangan is still a hit. Anyway, good win from Lily. Good points all around. And good streaming. I will just, because Mono requested it, I will have a quick look back at a random game. Let's find it. Let's go for this one, just for no obvious reason. So, we will look towards the end of this, because we don't need to care about anything in the beginning. Nothing in the beginning is possibly that relevant. We'll just have a quick look through the scores. So, Mono, Urza, Mono, picking up a few wins, some draws, a low deal in there. That could potentially be worth looking into, just a Legius Mono deal in there. Yes, I mean, you notice I've only done one thing this game. I dealt into Legius for a small hand, but haven't actually done anything of note up to this point. And, yeah, I guess we start with South 4. So we start with South 4. In this position. So in this position, I'm on 9-6. I have just got my dealer turn. Last hand. Nothing else I can really do. And I have basically looked at the opening hand and thought, right, I've got a realistic shot at Sashku, but any repeat will do. Immediately, Mono calls 1 pin. I have no chance of getting the Sashku completed. That is my thought process on here. So I'm just building up around it now. We get some useful tiles here. We draw a third one from there. No, there won't be one next week. Yeah, just in case you're not aware, I'm back down in Kent next week, family-related stuff, so yeah, we didn't have that happen. We draw this, have Tenpai, waiting on the 1 pin, the 3 pin, and the 4 pin. Expecting this to just be, well, Reach only or Reach Pinfu. Both of those are acceptable to me at this point. There is no realistic hope. I am hoping I can get a Chunkan here, actually, in all honesty. That's what I was really hoping for, a Chunkan, because, as I mentioned, never seen one. Richipatsu, Pinfu, Sumo, Sanchiku, even got some Murder I didn't need. Hanuman. Bump. And let's go again. So, South 4. This is not as good as the last one, but I only need a 2-Han hand for victory, and we have a Dora. So, Reach Dora, more than enough. So if we move down the turn order a little bit, so we can see that as things develop, I'm now in a position where I need a lot of Sozi tiles, a 6-pin, a 2-man, anything connected to the 6-pin. All of that gets me there, and I can be silent on it as long as it's the connected tiles to the 6 and not the gap tiles to the 6. But if I need to reach, I will reach. And yeah, I'm not really analysing what the other people are doing. I'm just working on this random player, Shadowhawk. He apparently needs some improvement. But you know, it's where all the interesting things are going to happen this time. Then a Forso is drawn, and at this point, we have what is known as a possible Itsu. But also, it's Tenpai, so you got to take it. So we just play 6 and we play Dama, because I only need... This is overkill for what I need. Itsu, Dora 1, absolute overkill. And I mean, nobody's going to play the 5 so, but we might as well stay in Tenpai, work out the draw state, see if we can force anything. Who knows? There's the Reach. So now we've got to play cautiously against this. This is actually a Cheeto Reach on the 3-man, which is... Yeah, it's live, actually. It's quite good weight right now for a Cheeto. Kyra would argue there are other things you could have potentially done if you'd have known you were Cheeto earlier, but hey, that's just that. We do play a 5 against it because at this point I consider the very real thing that I am so far down, so far down on points at the start of my dealer turn, I can afford to deal in and be exactly where I was. Undo the Hanuman of the Gods and... Sumo. And with that Reach, we end up with a very peculiar situation turning up here. Of this happening. Have you noticed it yet? As a 2nd on priority, Legius 3rd on priority, Mono 4th on priority. And a possible Itsu, of course. But I was more impressed by this. Given that there was This was a long game. We had lots of repeats, and it just ended up working out like this somehow. Which is, you know, a ridiculous achievement. Still. That's the stream. Thanks for joining us. Won't be one next week. There might be some midweek Tenho if I get up round to doing that, but we'll see how things are. So, thanks for joining. I will see you again in a couple of weeks. Until then. Any games you want me to analyze or anything you want me to have a look at, I might be able to do some random streamage on that at some stage. But yeah, just send me the links and I'll have a look at them. Or I might even do videos. Who knows? Catch you later.